All right, here we're going to take a look at some of the everyday mathematics kind of navigation and take a little bit of a deeper dive into just some of the areas that you can go within the program. So I apologize if any of this is kind of review for you from what you've already learned on your own. Feel free to fast forward through the video or whatever. So if you have any more specific questions about anything else related to any of the content that I cover or don't cover, please email me just so I can have a better idea of where you're having issues or where you'd like to learn more. So what I'm going to do here is go into the teacher edition of Everyday Math for grade 4 as the example, but a lot of what I cover here should apply to any of the grade levels that you may be working with. So when you first go into your teacher's edition here, you'll see, based on where your calendar is set, all of the different kind of information for the unit and lesson that load by default. But remember, you can change these on the fly by just clicking this menu here and going to different units and different lessons within those units. And then where you are will change the way that this screen looks like. So you have here on the right-hand side, we're already looking at the overview of this particular unit and lesson. We can look at the activities for this unit and lesson, ways to differentiate, the presentation, standards, notes, and all of that. So let's go into the presentation and play the presentation for this unit and lesson. From my end here, this seems to be working. I know I've heard a couple of you saying that the presentation viewer is having some issues. Please let me know some more specifics about what kinds of issues you're having. If this just won't display or if it's not going to the next page or whatever, we can get to the bottom of that and figure out what's going on. Just so you know, I am using Google Chrome as my browser, and I would recommend you do the same. Since it's working here, hopefully it would work for you as well. So the built-in tools like this calculator seem to be working. The annotation tool seems to be letting me draw there, and the text tool as well. Hopefully would be letting me type. Yep. Okay. So we have different kinds of functions here. We can clear our writing, clear it. Just for my testing here, everything seems to be working just fine. Something that's worth noting, if you have your ActiveInspire opened up, I want to show you a little bit of a trick here that can help you. So I'm going to load my ActiveInspire program and show you how you can use your ActiveInspire tools with your everyday math presentation. Okay, now that ActiveInspire has loaded, we can click this button right here in the upper left of the toolbar, and it's called Desktop Annotate. Clicking that will minimize ActiveInspire, but your toolbar will remain. So now we can actually use this toolbar in everyday math. You can have access to the different colors, the different thicknesses for the ink and everything like that. So you may find that that's a little bit more user-friendly than using everyday math's built-in tools, which can be a little bit clunky or just honestly pretty limited. And this will stay here no matter what. One thing to keep in mind with that, if you want to go to the next page, you may need to move this. So there's my button. Now notice I have the eraser tool selected. It's not going to let me click. If you want to activate different functions on everyday math, you'll need to go back to the select tool in order to actually, activate different links on your browser. So that's just a little bit of a trick. If you want to get back to Inspire, you can click this button again and it'll take you back, or just go back and forth. So it's just a handy little tool to have there that gives you a little bit more flexibility with what you can do. All right, I'm going to go back out to the main screen here. I'll click this X. Now I'm back here. Remember, I am in Unit 1, Access BOY 1, whatever that is. And I wanted to show you a couple of other places that you can go within everyday math. So clicking this menu button here, I already mentioned the class management is where you can go and verify your roster. ConnectEd takes you back to your teacher's editions and you can get the wonders, things like that. Let's take a look at the resources section. Within resources here, again, we have the unit and lesson selectors that we can look at different resources for those particular places. And then you can filter by the types of resources that you're looking at. So if you wanted to look ahead to a unit you're going to be teaching in the near future, so Unit 2, Lesson 1, for example, you can look at different tags. So any of the resources that or anything to do with cards or any kinds of games, you can click those, and those would just be for that particular unit and lesson. And then you can even filter down even further to different kinds of presentations or activities, things like that. So let's click the games link. And here we can see some different games that are just for this unit and lesson. If you see something you like, you can favorite it. This is very similar to Wonders. This is how you can make some notes. And then here with the tools menu, you can open the resource, download it, or do anything else with it. So that is just a quick little look here at the resources. There's a lot to look at. Just remember, if you're not seeing a lot of things, it's because you're only looking at a small window of the resources available. You have to change the unit and lesson to be able to see some more resources that match that area of the program. One last thing I want to mention in this screencast is where you can go to learn more on your own about this program. I'm planning on continuing to teach myself everything that's going on here, and I'll be putting more resources out there. And of course, I'm available to answer any questions that may come up. But a good place to go on your menu icon here is the professional development section. If you click professional development, there are a couple different places you can go within that. So in the implementation support section, now this would be specific for your grade level, you'll see some different kinds of resources that can help you get to know the program a little bit more. And one thing that I found that was pretty helpful was this implementation guide, which I don't know if you have a printed copy of that or not, but that is basically the whole book that is all about this program. There are also videos. If you don't feel like drilling through an entire book, this quick start course videos section just has some real quick kinds of snippets and screencasts or recordings that can help you learn some more specific areas of everyday math. And then, of course, at the bottom of this, remember, you can go to different pages. So the results that you see on the first screen are not the only results. If there are multiple pages, you can find a whole lot more. So here's Intro to Regular Lessons, and your results will change depending on your grade level as well. So that's it for the basics here, looking at your presentation viewer, a quick look at the resources, and that Active Inspire tip. There's more to come, as I said. Please send me any questions that you have as you continue to learn this program. Thank you.